Well, Saucony just put their racing foam into a daily trainer, and it's unlike anything else in the max cushion category right now. This one's interesting. The Paramount Max is the first non-racing shoe from Saucony to feature IncrediRUN foam. That's the same TPEE supercritical foam found in the racing shoe, the Endorphin Elite 3, which is fantastic. If you haven't watched that review yet, check that one out. That is going to be one of the best racing shoes of 2026. No doubt. But this foam is tuned 17% firmer. You do feel that on the run, and it's important that it's got it because this has a high stack and it is a daily training shoe. So I wouldn't want it so plush that I lost stability doing training miles. And I think they've done a really good job of tuning this slightly different foam here. There's no plate in here. There's no stability posts. This is pure IncrediRUN foam all the way throughout this midsole here, and it's the geometry that does the work. It really allows this trainer to become a super trainer without a plate, and it is one of the most special rides out there right now. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Kicking off with the key specs, they cost $200. Don't worry, it's a super trainer. Super trainers cost that much money. I'll let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. Oh, and you'll be able to get a pair on July the 1st. They weigh 9.5 ounces or 269 grams. That's for a size US men's 9, my pair. They have a drop of 6 millimeters. That's 43 millimeters at the heel and 37 millimeters under the forefoot. The upper's using a breathable engineered mesh with an anatomical molded heel. That gives you a little bit of extra stability there because there are no posts in this one. The midsole's using full-length IncrediRUN SuperCritical TPEE foam. It's tuned about 17% firmer than the Endorphin Elite 3, and it's paired with an IncrediRUN SRS sock liner. Super squishy, super responsive sock liner. A lot of the fun comes from this as well. And the outsole is using, yes, you guessed it, XT900 rubber compound from Saucony. Super high mileage rubber compound, very durable, and works in most circumstances. I really like this compound. When it comes to sizing and fit, well, they're true to size if you follow US sizing. Classic Saucony, go over usual sizing, you should be really happy with these. There's also a good amount of volume in here, so if you do have wider feet or you need extra room in a toe box, this has it, and yeah, they feel really good on the run, but they're not so wide that your feet are slipping around. There's plenty of potential in this lacing system here to get a nice mid-foot lock. Heel lockdown's really good too. The collars are interesting, not typical of Saucony. They look very different. They don't have a huge amount of padding, but enough padding so that they're very comfortable. I wouldn't need any more padding in this design. The tongue has got a ton of padding. So there's absolutely no lace bite from doing these up tight. And the heel counter is articulated. Again, very comfortable. You get a nice heel lock without the added pressure from the heel counter. I mentioned before that the insert is using IncrediRUN as well. And I have noticed a bit of a squeak pandemic coming from the Saucony running shoes using IncrediLux foam, but also IncrediRUN foam. And the squeak seems to be coming from the insert against the midsole. Now, because it is coming from these two rubbing against each other, it is definitely fixable. You can probably put some baby powder or talcum powder underneath this and stop that squeak, or just stick the insert down better so it doesn't rub against the midsole. You take it out and there's no squeak. Look, I'm moving this in every direction, there's no squeak. And you do notice a little bit of a squeak on the run. Definitely worse at first, gets much better throughout the run. But put the insert back in. Squeak. So what's that all about? If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like. Really appreciate it. It makes me look popular, all that good stuff. And make sure you comment on this video if you've run in these shoes yet, the Paramount Max. I want to get your thoughts. How have you been using them? What kind of training runs? Are they comfortable for you too? Do you enjoy them? Do you hate them? I want to get your honest thoughts. It's really going to help anyone who comes to this video decide whether or not these are going to be the next super trainers for them or not. So please put as much info as you can. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next shoe review. All right, time for my performance review. I'm going to start by how they feel on the run. What this midsole geometry and IncrediFoam do for your experience. Well, it's very much a trampoline experience. Now, I mean that in the best possible way, not like you're going up and down. Sure, having a plate in here would help drive that propulsion more forwards, but at the same time, the geometry does really pop you forward and it's a really, really fun ride. What you put into the shoe, you get back twice-fold. It's really, really responsive and joyful to run in. I'll show you what the pop is like here when I just flex it and let go. Oh, fun. Jesus. So, pop is fantastic. Nearly broke my lava lamp and camera there. That's proof that the pop on this is incredible. And yeah, well, I wasn't expecting that much, but I knew it was going to be poppy. You feel that on the run. It does feel propulsive and fun. And that's really awesome to have in your daily trainer, being able to get that racing foam sensation and feeling and responsiveness into your daily trainer without having to have a plate, which can be detrimental to your training because it takes a lot to flex a plate and that takes a toll on your muscles. It does overstrain them, which you don't want to be doing in training. You don't want to risk picking up an injury before your race, and that's exactly what training on plates can do. So I like training on shoes without plates or maybe a nylon plate. Yes, I'll stretch to that if it's the Endorphin Speed 5. Absolutely love that shoe for training runs, speed training, all kinds of things. It's fantastic because a nylon plate is easy to flex. And having a racing foam in these absolutely turns them into a super trainer without having to have a plate. The geometry and the response from the foam just makes it perform like that. It's a shoe you can pick up the pace in, do some tempo runs in. It's not the best shoe for tempo runs. I would best describe this as a mileage bagger or long run bagger, recovery runs, anything where you want to go longer distances but maintain a steady, faster than average pace. That's what this shoe does really, really well. So I think for anyone who does want to run a marathon in a non-plated shoe because you don't find them comfortable, they're a little bit wobbly or unstable on the run and you don't want to pay all that money, like $290 that you can get to, then a shoe like this is totally going to make sense for you guys because you'll finish the race feeling like you haven't really done much of a run. Well, that's an overstatement. It's a marathon. You're probably going to feel like you've done a run, but you know what I mean. You're going to feel much better after a run than if you were running in one of those. Did that make sense? Tuning the foam 17% firmer was definitely the right decision because like I said, there's no posts in here. You're really getting the stability from the wide platform and the bathtub-like walls that kind of cradle your heel. If this was super plush and had the full tuning of the Endorphin Elite 3, then I think it would be too unstable and you just wouldn't get as much out of training running on a shoe like that. And heavier runners wouldn't enjoy it either because it just wouldn't be stable enough. So the tuning of the foam works really well. You get the bounce, you get the responsiveness, but you do still maintain a relatively good amount of stability. That XT900 rubber compound works really well. Always do enjoy it on Saucony running shoes. It lasts a long time, it's very durable, and traction is fantastic. This shoe isn't perfect, by the way. Now, breathability is a concern. If you run somewhere very hot, the breathability of this shoe is really bad. There's hardly any airflow going through this upper at all. And that's a little disappointing for me because I am based in Florida and a lot of my training runs are in the heat. So I need a really breathable shoe. If I'm going to be using these, it's going to be very early morning runs, probably before the sun's come up, because I just wouldn't be able to manage it otherwise. My feet would get too hot. So that's something to take into consideration. What kind of environment do you train in? So what kind of training does this suit best? Well, definitely longer runs. Like I said before, if you're trying to maintain faster than average pace over longer distances, not race pace in terms of racing shoe race pace, but anyone who maybe is training for a marathon and you want a shoe to run in your marathon, you don't want it to be a super shoe, a super trainer will do you really good, then this one I think is going to perform really well. Heavier runners as well are going to like this for all the protection underfoot, and the fact it does have relatively good stability considering the stack height there. It's just really good at going on and on at a nice fastish steady pace. And that's where this performs really well. I think you'll know who you are if that sounds like you. But again, if you've got a particular use case, let me know in the comments. I'll let you know if this is going to be right for you or not. If you're wondering where this one features in my best super trainers roundup, follow that link up there. That will take you to my roundup of the best super trainers right now. If you are in the market for a super trainer but you're not sure where to start, well, that's where you start. It's going to help guide you to the right ones for you. This is definitely one of the more cushioned super trainers on the list, tailored more to longer distances rather than really faster training sessions. But look at that list, it'll give you all the information you need. Is the Saucony Paramount Max worth $200 then? Well, yes, for the right person, definitely. If you're a person with a heavier build, you want a really comfortable running shoe for running longer distances, maybe you're training for a marathon, you want to run that marathon in the same shoe. Breathability isn't a concern for you because you're training miles and not in a crazy hot place like Florida. And you just want complete comfort, a nice, bouncy, fun experience with tons of cushioning underfoot and protection. Well, yes, it's 100% worth it. It's one of those super trainers that does the longer run side of things and comfort side of things really, really well. So yes, definitely worth it. If you've got any questions at all, maybe I missed something, let me know in the comments down below. I reply to everyone. And if you didn't before, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next review. Peace.